Yes, so this is how I did my assignment. I went ahead and I first had to import my dependencies. You can see the first cell, I was importing my dependencies. I imported NumPy, Pandas, and Seaborn, Matplotlib, and then I imported I used the Matplotlib inline, yes, which it's for our IPy notebook to enable us use Matplotlib with IPy notebook. And then this CNS.set for, I set it up to work with Seaborn. I don't know so much about it, but that's the little I know. And then I had to import my my data set here on in this cell here. Then I was accessing the headers just to test out. Then I started working on my assignment, which I first I grouped the average price by year. Yes, and this is what I got, and the maximum was got realized it is so it is 20. Well, I realized here it was not so clear in that first cell, so I went to the second cell. I had to sort out the values, arrange them, and so I came up with I think it is 2018 that had the best the maximum average price. And so I went ahead and looked at for the maximum the consumption, the category, which to my interpretation, I thought it was the type of the avocado. Yes, so I grouped it, the type against the total volume. Yes, and I came out with the best being, I think, organic. Yes, and so I went ahead and I plotted as we had been instructed. Plot here the consumption against the category, the one that is consumed most. Yes, so I went ahead and plotted it here. Yes, and this auto piece, it stands for the percentage. It's scattering for the percentage. As you can see here, the digits are in percentages. So this code inside here it's to cater for the percentage, I think, to make it automatic. And so after that, I went ahead and this was not so much clear. It was kind of congested. So I went ahead and I realized I had to, after doing the grouping, I just had to use the sum function, as you can see in this cell. So then after that, I would come up with something which would be when I go ahead and I when I try to visualize it, it comes out when it's a very clear pie chart, as you can see here. So for the last part of our exercise, I had to use a different IPy notebook, which was I called for Visualbooks. So in this one, I went ahead, I imported the dependencies, but the only difference is that I had to import NumPy. And then after importing NumPy, I had to access the random function. Then I also import random from that because it is going to assist me when I'm plotting. And then I had also to import SciPy, from SciPy I had to import the stats, And then when it came to plotting, I imported matplotlib as MPL, and then I imported it as a .pyplot. Then I had to import Seaborn as SNS. Yes, and I had to also have the matplotlib inline. Yes, to enable me use matplotlib here. And then I had to import my data set. Yes, so in this cell, I went ahead and I got my other. So this is the data. I went ahead and I used the RDN to, yes, this is this dependency here. Yes, though, yeah, I'll explain more about it later, but I had to use it. By doing this, I believe I'm giving it, maybe I'll try to get also some questions from, maybe I'll try to inquire from Ozzy whether this one actually, does it give extra fields does it round off the values that are there already, or it gives extra, does it create extra values to the data that we have in existence? When I came across it, that's the question that came to mind, that has just, I've come to have also asked myself. But I realize that what you do when you get your data set, just for the case of the tutorial that I was following, you have to use this dependency, you round it up. And then after that, we have to use I imported, it required for me to have the histogram being plotted. According to the tutorial I was following, I had to have two kind of data sets. Yes, and so what I did, I got one which is indexed, and the avocado CSV that is indexed, and one that is not indexed. So I indexed this one at the type column. And then I went ahead and also used the RunDN. Yes, and I gave it 80. And then I went ahead and I plotted. So when I plot this, I'm plotting this data, which is here in this cell. So when I run plot.hist, which is histogram, so this is what I get. This is what I get. And then I went ahead and I wanted to also plot to have this one in this cell here, which is having 17, being also visualized. So in this cell, which is having number 18, it's having the number of 18 here. It's so I went ahead and I gave it a color. I call it was Indian red. And then that's how it came out. And then I wanted to plot both of them on the same graph. So this is what I did. And so the only difference, I had to put in the alpha, this alpha variable, you can see 0.5. It's the one that gives the spacing between the two, because as you know, they will be overlapping. So I think there is a space that is being left during the overlap, as you can see around here. That is what we call the alpha. Then the bins, I'm going to explain. I'll explain later about the bins. Yes, I also still need some explanation about it, but yeah, the bins are, I'll explain more about it later. But this is what I had when I had merged both of these, the index data set and the one that is not indexed. Then I went ahead and I had to, so for me to use Seaborn, I had to change the value for the random, for the random that I'd given from NumPy. I set it to 1000 for each, for the index, for the data, the avocado CSV that was not indexed, and also for the avocado dataset that was indexed. at the type column. So I went ahead and I used, so in this cell, I used Seaborn because I deported it as CNS. So yes, and I used the joint plot function. Yeah, and then I had to just, have them as arguments here. And then so when I did that immediately, that's how I come up with this graph. Yeah, it's scattered in the middle. So far, that's what I was able to do so far. Now I'm going to give my explanation about the beans. Yes, thank you.